You?
I have my Jurgens on.
You're not?
No, Jurgens. I'm the head of a fintech. Morning Keely, morning Lynn, morning Jenny, morning Philippa, morning Clodagh, morning Lynn. I'm in a hashtag fuck off Friday. Oh, we need to do it's the old jingle day, isn't it? Christos. Let's go and find the jingle. Let's get the jingle. Let's get that jingle jazzy Friday feeling.
Friday! Can you believe we've now got our own jingles?
Oh.
I'm so excited about this.
He's just jingle-tastic.
Mark, I'm very low.
You need a cushion under you, darling.
Well, give me a cushion.
Okay, there's a cushion. No, I'm very low. And now I need a cushion.
That's better.
Now I need a cushion. That's annoying.
Good morning, everybody. How are you on this fine Friday? Thank fuck it's Friday. Thank you very much, Clodagh. Mark! What was that? Now I've set the dog off. Good morning. Thank you, Clodagh. Clodagh says, Mark and Nadia are looking gorgeous. Don't usually read out things like that, but I thought let's just take the compliment. Thank you.
Basking it.
Basking it.
I was looking at Nadia yesterday, and I'm going to share something with you guys. I thought, what a fucking stunning wife I've got.
Oh, right, that's it now. Move on.
No, your top was lovely, your shirt, your skin looked great, your hair looked fantastic. Everything about you was just absolutely pitch perfect.
Well, what do I do?
I don't know, what do you do?
I look after my gut.
Oh, fucking hell.
I've got him on the gut stuff now.
Everything returns to the gut, as it should do.
Well, it does.
Of course it does, I think. Morning, Faith. How are you? BBC Friday Quiz of the Week. It's the Quiz of the Week this week, and of course we'll be doing that right at the end. Creatorholic, what toy are you after, Fiona Reid? It's not a toy I'm after, it's an experience.
Right, before we go any further,
what?
we're just going to have a little water cooler, self-indulgent chat about Love Island.
Let's talk Love Island, because you thought we were going to talk about Boris Johnson.
Do a poll. Are you watching Love Island, Mark?
Okay. You're going to be
So
disappointed.
first of all, let's find out. And if it's a very tight, so can please everybody that can vote. So we really know who's watching it, and I will just give you a little fill-in. So Casa Amor has just happened.
Can I just ask quickly
and there's
before you
been
get
many
going?
infidelities.
Let me just ask quickly before you get going. Is Love Island a global brand? Is this something that is happening?
Yeah, all over.
Okay.
But so basically, this is all you need to know. There has been infidelities, right? And yesterday was totally fascinating watching how the boys who had been for a whole week laughing and joking about their infidelity and dreading the girls coming back and the girls being all upset. And then a couple of the girls walked back with fellas themselves. And the absolute shock and horror from Dammy.
I was on the floor in hysterics watching that process, because you saw...
He thought it was all about him being unfaithful. And she wasn't even unfaithful. She just said, I like him.
She very sort of sensitively said, I was thinking with my head, I want to bring him into the villa because we are here to find love and I want to consider, but very, very sensible, very sensible. Dammy, meanwhile, his head had been turned like that. He thought it was all about him, and he was expecting and wanting her to come in. He was actually wanting her to come in single.
I know, it was quite
He was actually wanting her to have to go out of the villa.
But I think the big story for us yesterday is Jacques. Jacques. Toxic masculinity in the most extreme form.
Zoe says Dammy needs to get over himself.
The way he was treating Paige, I wanted to climb into that television and just mummify her and say, not mummify her literally, but mummy her.
I was going to say, what? Cover her in bandages and then hook her brain out with a long
hook. and say, dump him. Dump him now, you will feel so much stronger. This will affect your whole life if you dump this man now. Do it.
Right.
Do it. And also it will be brilliant for so many young women that do take this kind of shit from a bloke.
Yeah.
P-bums. What do you think?
It's funny because
Dammy wanted her to stand there alone. Exactly.
I know,
Claire.
I mean, that's what it was about. And his little mutterings of aggression.
I know, but she was very good. She goes, who's the heartbreaker of the heart?
Yeah, Natasha, the way he was saying it's down to you. It's like, I mean, we all really liked him at the beginning, but that was a really quite revealing moment. Now look, can I just put the in parenthesis here. We're talking about this as a light-hearted entertainment show. We know that it can take serious turns, and we know that, you know, there's a lot of kind of horrible chatter. We're talking from the breezy, chatty, light end of what the producers are asking us to, which is respond to the storylines. There are storylines in there, and for example, I have my biggest concern, and I want to put my parental arms around Andrew. I worry
so
he's
worried
almost
about
too
him.
sensitive
Yeah.
for the show.
He's just, and when we say sensitive, we mean he's open,
In
he's
a nice way,
honest,
yeah.
he's true. I think there's so many mums with sons that will just be going, oh, that could be my boy, you know, who doesn't go for the toxic masculinity, who's actually incredibly brave because he cried the other day. He's really brave because he's not being led by what he thinks other men would expect from him. So I just find it is actually a very interesting social experiment to
Lucy
watch
Ruth says it's
with your
not
kids.
light-hearted entertainment, though, is it? Look, terrible things have happened in the past, for sure. And, you know, I think there is obviously all the producers and everyone with this, because this comes up quite quickly. As soon as you talk about Love Island as something, as a mainstream show to watch and indulge in, you know, a lot of people understandably say, but this is a program that doesn't have a duty of care or look after its people. They have huge systems in place now in order to kind of protect people, and that's why I'm flagging up when you see someone who I think couldn't cope with the cut and thrust of what's going on in there. I feel for Andrew. I think Andrew needs to be given sort of a little bit of extra care and attention by the producers.
He did, Laura, to watch him fold under the peer pressure to have some fun with Coco.
Yes.
And it was so interesting. Our
I agree, Lisa
14-year-old
Marie Curtis.
in the first 2 seconds said, he doesn't have feelings, Mum. He's just trying to do that to try and...
He doesn't have feelings for her.
Yeah, because that's what boys do. They say, get back on the horse, have a pint. You know, it's all that sort of stuff, isn't it? So I do find it quite interesting to watch with my kids because it brings out really good conversations with them about managing relationships and about managing people. They are all very young. They are all learning about themselves and they are doing that. And I think, personally, you can never really know what it's like to go on a show like that. So these young kids can watch something and say, oh, I could cope with that, but
Oh, no,
very
no,
different
for
when
sure.
you're in there.
But that's my thing, you know, I mean, so for example, even with Jack, we might not like his behaviour, but his behaviour isn't beyond what a lot of young men do, and it's about certain behaviour.
I've seen him a couple of times as well when he's been really nasty.
Sensitive.
I've said to you, haven't I? I've said, he's literally thinking about what the lads back home will say. He is behaving in what he thinks is the right way for lads
I thought
to
he
behave.
had quite a tender moment with Andrew, though.
He did actually.
Gave him
And actually, when Antash walked in with her fella, Jack looked in pain for Andrew. He really did. So I think, I think he is a man caught up in toxic masculinity.
There you go. Now, someone I had no time for at the beginning got a text, dear heart. I couldn't bear him at first, but I can't work out if that's that sort of... I struggle with that extraordinarily
Is it Davide?
outgoing...
Because he's
sort of
Casa
Italian-
d'Amore.
Yeah.
I love the way he says it's like Casa
I
d'Amore.
love Davide.
We love
I absolutely...
We've gone silly
adore
on
him.
Davide.
Can I just for a minute just go, how does he do this?
Oh, he's very funny.
I don't know. Welcome back to the villa.
And
His
hello,
eye.
hello, welcome
Hello,
back to the
okay.
villa. He was like a 6-year-old.
And Ekin Sue said, did you miss me? I said, I didn't.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
So,
anyway, that's Love
Ekin
Island.
Sue has grown on me. Ekin
Little
Sue has
water
grown on
cooler
me as
chat
well.
for a few minutes.
No, I personally think at its best, we're not talking about it at its worst, at its best, it's a great conversation starter for the family around relationships and behaviour in
What I
relationships.
like is, from years ago, they've taken the booze out of the situation.
Oh,
They
yeah,
only
they-
are allowed a glass or two,
Oh, are
but
they?
there's no
Oh, that is good.
drunkenness. Because I think in the early days, that's what I really didn't like,
Yeah.
because you can't give young people and alcohol and put them in front of telly.
Sorry.
Rather like, what was that awful show? The Geordie one.
Oh, Geordie, oh my God.
God, I mean, they got those people so
I can't believe
drunk,
they
it's
got
awful.
away with that. Callum Begley, I love your comment. Ekin and Davide remind me of a divorced couple who still love each other.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so like
yeah,
that.
that's so true.
It's like they're on their 8th
And
holiday
everyone's
together.
like, just get back together.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Okay, so obviously we thought we'd go there rather than the obvious, which is now Boris Johnson's speech. I want to talk about that. Obviously, everyone's racing around trying to kind of decide who's going to become king, who's going to be the successor. As someone said, Who was it? Liz
No, my
Truss?
favourite line that I heard on LBC yesterday. Choosing a new Tory leader is trying to choose which rancid toilet you'll go into at Glastonbury Festival.
Try and
That's
guess
so
who said
funny.
that. Yeah.
We don't know who said it.
James O'Brien.
No, James O'Brien was quoting someone else.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Apparently, who was it who said? I can't. Was it Nadine? Oh, Nadine
Don't show
Dorries.
Nadine Dorries'
Oh, okay, we're
face.
going to talk about Nadine Dorries in another context in a minute, but she has uttered the sentence regarding the Tory race for the Tory leadership as the hounds of hell have been unleashed. And I think one thing we can look forward to in the coming weeks and months is which is going to be a great spectator sport, is lots of Conservatives smashing the fuck out of each other for a bit, and I think that's going to be quite entertaining.
But disastrous for the country that is on its knees.
Yeah.
Hang on, while they're playing
No,
their
I
game.
agree that, but I mean, you know, you've got to have some payback, haven't you? Rees-Mogg has come out and said that Rishi Sunak was shit. I mean, that's already happened. So, you know, they're all going to start slinging.
Has he?
Yeah, they're all going to
What's he
start
say?
slinging mud at each, just saying he was a failure as a chancellor, and they're just going to start slinging mud at each
But
other.
the week before, if it had suited him, he would have said, "We're a marvellous chancellor."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, just quickly, who would you? And that will be the chat on who's going to be the next leader of the Conservative Party. Who do you want to be the next leader of the Conservative Party? Just chuck your names here and see if they can come up. See if they can come up. Of course, they'll come up. Let's see what comes up. And in terms of who's watching Love Island, 41% yes, 59% no. But what did you make of his speech? Because it was curious. I think my mum, bless her, it was really sweet. My mum texted me. She said, "Oh, I've just listened to his speech, and I think it's a good speech." And I was talking to her about it shortly afterwards when I saw her later, and she was like, "Oh no," but she said it wasn't a good speech.
He takes no.
No. But I thought this was really sweet. She said as soon as
anything.
anyone, she said she felt the same with Theresa May. As soon as
Soon as
anyone's
anyone is,
leaving,
yeah.
you feel sorry for them. And I have to confess, I felt a moment of a pang of humanity when
Absolutely.
with him coming out and doing that.
And then there was a very clever photo of him kissing his children and
3
his wife.
photos inside Downing Street. Has anyone seen the
Because
photos?
yeah, but I mean,
But okay,
Yeah.
we're just giving it that. But I'm saying
He's
at
still
the
a
end of the day,
human
he is
being.
still a human being. And also, the thing that struck me about his speech, because lots of people were saying, James O'Brien was saying he didn't apologise, and interestingly, Sheila Fogarty was saying I didn't expect him to apologise. I don't think that was going to be part of it. But what you have to understand, I felt for the man, because I think this has been his life mission. His life mission has been to be what he called, I think at school, King of the World, wasn't it? And next best thing to that is Prime Minister of the UK. I know he's going to get sort of all sorts of kind of talks and appearances, and he'll be comfortable off for the rest of his life. That's not what I'm interested in. Spiritually, where does Boris go? I've always thought he would be the ideal candidate as the host for How to Stay. Have I got news for you?
he was really good at that. He should have been a TV.
He should have been, or a
presenter all his life.
stand-up comedian. I mean, he is incredibly funny when he's not making critically important decisions. So let's have a look. What are you all saying? Who do you think you cannot trust any of them?
I just don't trust any of. I really don't trust any of them. Everybody was involved in
let's-
this.
yeah.
Everybody knew exactly what was going on. Everyone was lying for them. And as much as they say they were given assurances, that is to cover their backs, to be given assurances. But we all knew the truth. How come they couldn't know? They didn't know the truth.
Lee
So-
Peart, the speech reminded me of my narcissistic ex who would win me over with words, but would time and time again screw me over with actions. I feel no sympathy for him.
It's very tough, Holly.
Well, I mean, I think, look, there was no humility in it whatsoever. I suppose I just didn't go into his speech expecting any, so I wasn't
didn't.
surprised.
No.
I thought he still believes that and I think a lot of his supporters believe this too, because I've never heard someone as angry as I heard 2 days ago on the phone to LBC with Sheila Fogarty. And I mean, he was literally, you could hear his feet off the ground and the phone receiver. Someone screaming at her saying, how can you, we voted for him, we voted for him. And I think he feels very, very keenly, and I think partly he's right to argue this, he feels like Trump did with the Republican Party, that he transformed the party's prospects because of his personality. And I think
Only because of Brexit.
But only because of Brexit. But
Only if you're a Brexiteer.
he has incredible charisma. Whether you like the charisma or not, he has incredible charisma. And I think that is something that the Conservative Party are going to be agonising over. Someone here has just said Jeremy Hunt would be a good alternative. I can't believe, having once... I mean, Jeremy Hunt used to be the Culture Secretary, and I saw him at a couple of things, and I could not bear him. But isn't it interesting that now he's become a he's become a sort of preferable choice. Michael Heseltine was on the radio the other day. He was excellent.
God, I loved listening to him.
Michael
I can't believe
Heseltine.
it.
He said, when he was asked, who would you put your money behind, he said, well, that's probably the worst
Well,
thing I could do.
I probably say I put my money behind somebody I don't want
like,
to.
and they'll probably
kiss
win.
of death if I say anything.
Zoe Agnew, I didn't expect any, I guess, humility either, but it's human decency with everything he put people through, especially... I mean, I think the vast majority of people are absolutely saying that. I mean, I certainly did think it wasn't... And did you hear the booing? I mean, I heard his voice waver when the booing cracked, because of course we're hearing his background noise-reduced microphone. When he was giving that speech to Boris, he will have heard nothing but booing. That would have been a very, very hard speech to do. Yeah, it was massive.
Was it?
And you could see that there was a moment where it punctured through even him. And I just heard a break in his voice where it was like, bloody hell, we're really not liked here.
Yes, Lee, we did see the MP leaving Downing Street, and she's very pro-Boris, and she screams at the crowd, those who laugh last, laugh loudest. Did you see her?
No.
Oh my God, she was rabid. She was
Those
possessed.
who laugh last, laugh
loudest.
What-
Just you wait and see. Now, she could have, some people are interpreting that as just you wait and see, he's not going to go, he's going to hang on. But I think she was saying, just you wait and see, everything's going to fall apart now the great Boris has left.
Okay, who thinks he will hold on and call an election
No.
later?
Ian Dale was incandescent. In fact, he started his programme having a go at everyone, which
I think he's had a bad week. He's a bad week.
Yeah, but it's all right, just stay at home, don't
We
come into
talk a
work.
lot. We try and listen to the political spectrum a lot on LBC.
Yeah, so he
We like
was
hearing what
saying
the public
all
say.
these tin pot politics, all these tin pot, what's it called when you think that something's going to happen and it's not?
I know what
Conspiracy
that-
theorists. The Prime Minister has resigned and he can't pull any tricks like Trump did that would cause an insurrection. So anyone that phones in and anyone who tweets, I will not be giving you the time of day. He said it's just not going to happen. He has to go. He will be going. There's no... He even had to go at John Major.
But do you not
Because
think
John Major had suggested that.
But do you not think that there's? I mean, I don't know what the kind of constitutional capacity there is for a sitting sort of lame duck prime minister or caretaker prime minister to call an election. But do you not think he might try and do a bit of a Trumpian thing where he's going to try and deliver probably the greatest 6 months of his premiership,
So that the people
storm the streets.
Well, that's what Rory Stewart and Michael Heseltine are saying. John Major alluded to, but...
Really?
But Ian Dale is very, very, very angry with everyone because he said it's total nonsense. It could not be done.
Right, yeah, I mean, I think it's stretching the imagination, but I do keep hearing people say, I mean, I thought genuinely he was going to call a snap election. I mean, I think that what moderated my approach to the speech was the fact that he'd actually said, okay, it's time to go. Time to
Morning,
go.
Nicky Burton. Morning,
Nicky
Good
Burton.
Ship Lollipop. Good
So,
morning, Louise Birchall.
what I noticed there, which was rather lovely, was in the asking the question of who would you like to replace him, virtually no names came through. So that kind of gives us clear steer on that.
From who?
From anyone. I think I saw Jeremy Hunt. I mean, yeah.
Because I think a lot of people do think that they are all tarred with the same brush. I was just listening to the new Education Minister, the third one in 3 days. Third one in 3 days. And Tom Swarbrick was really good. He was really grilling him. He was saying, you know, you've got two people in... Because he goes, who's in your department? He goes, well, it's me and it's this other person's name. And he went, okay, so that's 2.
Morning, Emma.
That's 2. What's happening? You know, is this government able to run the country? Well, the Prime Minister has stepped down and he will be putting other people in positions, and he just kept asking the same questions over and over. And he was just... It's a mess.
Well, Keir Starmer very clearly said that if Boris tries to stay, and I think we're still in that sort of weird sort of limbo area or no man's land of not really knowing the extent to which he's planning on staying. Is it until after his party, or is it beyond that, or whatever? But
Exactly, Louise. The wedding in Chequers is planned.
Keir Starmer has said that if he is going to try and outstay his welcome, he will table a vote of no confidence in the House of Commons.
But what is going on with Durham Police?
What?
Because if Durham Police come along
Yeah.
and say that he was guilty of terrible crimes, then he will have to resign.
I think the
and
Conservative...
then we will have two situations. We will
Yes.
have the opposition and the serving government without a bloody leader.
Well, I personally think the Conservative Party are waiting for the outcome of the Durham thing, and if the Durham thing means that Keir and Angela step down, then the internal carnage that will then ensue in the Labour Party will be a perfect storm for the Tories.
And they will call an election.
And they will call
an election.
I think they're waiting. I think that Durham police thing is pretty
What are
significant.
they playing at? I mean, it's been months and months and months now.
Yeah. John Dobbins, should we look at the bigger picture that we have this opinion of Labour not being able to govern, because Boris said there would be chaos if Labour was voted in, and all I've seen is chaos from the Conservatives.
Exactly,
Yeah, very good
thank
point.
you,
Yeah,
exactly.
good point, yeah. Okay, just a quick one. Ghislaine Maxwell is appealing against her sex trafficking conviction and 20-year jail sentence.
Not giving up, is she?
Despite apologising to her victims, they show that she's paid £420 to appeal against both her conviction and her sentence. I don't think that's going to be successful, personally. But that's sort of hit the
She's
news
in the
headlines this
prison
morning.
that Orange is New Black. She's in
Oh,
that
is that
prison.
where that's based?
Yeah, I read an interesting article the other day with the woman that wrote the book, who'd served time in that prison.
Yeah. So,
I
quickly,
don't want to be in there for 20 years.
tell us about Nadine Dorries. And you
Well, I
literally
think it's quite
you
extraordinary.
squealed in bed last night. And
So
sort of-
Nadine Dorries is calling for abortion time to be reduced in the UK
by 4
right?
weeks.
by 4 weeks. And this has caused absolute outrage with those that look. What is the board that looks after all this sort of stuff? Yet again,
British Pregnancy Advisory Service.
Yet again, she's putting her great big size 9s into something she clearly doesn't know enough about.
Yeah.
Because,
That's what the head
first of
that's what
all,
the head it
very,
says.
very few people have an abortion without going through
Turmoil.
right? But the Pregnancy Advisory Board said the 24-week allowance is rare that people have it 24 weeks, but they're usually of the most extenuating circumstances. So a young girl that may have, well, not a young girl, a woman that may have been raped and has no idea that she's pregnant, or often somebody with abnormalities. And she's asking for those 4 weeks to be taken away. Now that's a leeway. This isn't a norm. This is a leeway for extenuating circumstances. And she is trying to
reduce that leeway.
She wants that brought down to 20 weeks. But what she's actually doing is getting her face everywhere. That's what this is about. So at a time when the government is collapsing, because I didn't realise she's Minister of Safety Advisory as well.
You should. No, right.
It's very odd because at the same time she's calling for the because at the moment, as Mark very interestingly pointed out to us last week, I didn't realise it is still a criminal act to have an abortion in England, Scotland and Wales. It's just that they've put in a caveat that if two doctors say that you can have an abortion, it's decriminalised. But up until that point, you have to have two doctors that say this abortion is necessary for the mental health or physical health of this woman. Now she's asking for that to be taken away. So therefore making it easier to have an abortion.
Well,
not easier,
I think
but to-
campaigners would probably argue that whilst yes, the right should be enshrined in law, it doesn't actually change anything, does it? Realistically,
No.
But she does still. I think she's using it as
She's
a bit of a.
using it
She's using it as a
to
kind
balance
of
out what she's
smoke and
trying to
mirrors.
get in this
Yeah,
side.
smoke and mirrors to essentially claw it back. I mean, the head of the organisation you mentioned, the British Pregnancy Advisory Service, says it's absolutely extraordinary that at a moment of huge political crisis, a cabinet member has chosen this as an opportunity to attack
To
abortion
get herself
rights.
centre stage, because she's not going to be employed again in government, is she? Let's face it. And I just think...
But am I right in thinking that
absolutely
20 weeks... I mean, can some people... I mean, obviously there's that sort of, the unofficial idea that after 12 weeks people generally sort of notify people as to whether they're...
The absolute majority of abortions in this country, terminations happen at 10 weeks. At 10 weeks.
Oh, right, do they?
The majority,
Okay.
yeah, that's
So,
what it
as
is.
this woman of this organisation is saying, if you're getting that towards that 20 weeks and you're having to consider an abortion, they're usually extraordinary circumstances.
circumstances.
Yeah,
So you're talking about somebody that, that may have been raped.
Right.
And hasn't even and is going through the trauma of that and hasn't even considered the horror that they might be pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, in many states now in America, nobody gives a shit about that, even if you've been raped. But also many abnormalities can be shown at 20 weeks. We were watching something the other day on TikTok of a young woman who was 16 weeks pregnant, multiple clots in her body, having in a very red state where abortion's 100%, 90% of people are anti-abortion, and she was having to fight for her life. And we don't know what happened with her. She wanted a baby, she loved her baby, but she had multiple clots in her body that was probably going to kill her. And she didn't have the right to choose, because she said, if I don't live, this baby doesn't live.
Yeah,
we're talking about my life here. And so who the hell does Nadine Dorries think she is? Disgusting.
Mark Burgess, meanwhile, says, I was crying with laughter at the emptying of the jacuzzi. There is a very funny home time up. It's very silly, very fun. Ross Ouch, Nadine says things to cause a reaction.
She
She's
does.
a very nice lady.
Centre stage.
Yeah. A couple of other bits of news which
Don't
you guys
forget,
have
she
reminded
went
us of.
on Get Me Out of Celebrity.
Yeah.
Get Me Out of the Jungle.
The former Japanese Prime Minister has been
shot in the chest.
Very odd, so we don't know if he's in a critical
But very
condition.
critical, yeah.
And the mother of baby P, I think, is released today as well.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought there was
How
another
can
story.
that happen? How can
you've
she
got,
be released?
You've got an interesting How to Stay Married coming up, which is all about marital hatred. Ooh, that's a funky one, isn't it? So that'll be landing at some point soon. And you've got a fabulously apt Meals and Minutes landing later today, given the current Eton mess that we're in.
It's an Eton mess, no bake cheesecake.
And I wonder why she chose an Eton mess.
Eton, you got us in a mess.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's time for Quiz of the Week, and you're getting ready to see your friends. So do you wanna?
Yeah,
do
I'm
your
actually
thing?
going to see a friend of mine today. I'm going to go and sit with her while she has her chemo. Not Hannah, it's somebody else. And I just wondered if the thing that's really pissing her off about chemo, apart from having bloody cancer, which is just horrendous, is that all the wines she drinks taste disgusting, so she can't drink any wine. So this isn't necessarily something to answer now, but if anyone could message underneath, if you've been through the same thing and you've discovered a wine that doesn't taste absolutely disgusting on chemo, could you please leave a message for me? Because I'd love to get her a nice bottle. It's so annoying, I can't have wine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay,
yeah.
well, on that note.
Lots of love. Woo!
Well, there we go. It's so good, isn't it? I think we need a jingle for almost every piece of content, but then I'd become a bit trigger happy. Okay, so hashtag Fuck Off Friday is the Friday quiz, and get your pens ready, get your pieces of paper ready, get ready. Someone got 7 out of 7 last week, so let's see if you can get 7 out of 7 today, eh? Let's see if we can do it. What was the other news I was going to say? It's a live no-name Sunday show this Sunday as well, so it'll probably be around 11:30 on Sunday. And obviously Weekly Rushes will be landing, and maybe another vlog. You never know. Got a bit vlog-tastic recently. Okay, so here we go. So question number 1. Some cinemas in the UK have banned youngsters from wearing which garment when attending screenings of the Minions: The Rise of Gru, in response to a TikTok trend blamed for promoting unruly behaviour. So what are kids not allowed to wear going to see Minions? Is it A, dungarees, B, scarves, or C, suits? Nicky Burton, it is Friday today. I know the answer to this one, and it's been in the press quite a bit. Nicola Higgins, you're saying a suit. Lorraine Eads, a suit. Reese Roberts, hi Reese, hope you're well. Laura Lawler, hi Laura. Lots of you saying, yeah, say A, B, or C, or you can write the answer if you wish. We are going to be analysing your answers, and we will be giving you feedback in about 12 hours. I don't know what the feedback will be, but we'll be giving you feedback. Minions trend, yes, it is. They have banned kids from wearing suits. I mean, I can't admit to seeing many kids, other than those that go to schools like Eton, wearing suits. Emulating TikTok videos tagged hashtag gentle minions, smartly dressed teenagers had turned up at screenings, copying supervillain Gru's arched finger pose and cheering loudly, but it was causing too much rowdiness. C is the answer. Question 2. Boris Johnson has quit as Conservative Party leader, in case you didn't know, signalling his time as UK Prime Minister would end soon, after a slew of ministerial resignations. But who had left a cabinet post just 2 days after being appointed? So who left their job in the government just 2 days after being appointed? We did talk about this yesterday. Was it the Health Secretary, Steve Barclay, A? Was it B, the Education Secretary, Michelle Donnellan? Or was it C, Chancellor Nadine Zahawi? Which of those three resigned within 36 hours, 24 hours, within just 2 days of being appointed? See you, Melissa Phillips. Have a lovely day. Why or why, Ellery Jones? What do we think? What are you saying? A, B, or C? Sarah J. Robinson, Pink Lady, B. Stiver, Good Chip Lollipop, Cat Girl, Keely Windle, Sarah Witherington, Emma Carter, John Dobbins, Fiona. You're all saying B. Oh, who's feeling a little bit smart and a little bit flash today, eh? Who's feeling like they could get to a good score? Zavil Sikta, B. You're all right, it's B. Question 3. Activists from protest group Just Stop Oil glued their hands to picture frames in UK galleries. They also covered John Constable masterpiece The Haywain with a version that included which of the following? A, double yellow lines, B, a racing car, or C, the slogan, no new oil. So when I say they covered, they put sheets of the painting over the painting. Good God, I'm amazed. Oh, yeah. There's an image of it. What did they cover John Constable's masterpiece with? Was it A, images of double yellow lines going through the painting, B, a racing car, or C, the slogan, no new oil? Lots of you saying a racing car, lots of you saying no new oil. MT, you're saying a racing car. Laura Lawler, you're saying no new oil. Julie Hilton is saying double yellow lines. Faith Goodman's got 2 out of 2. How are we doing? What the fuck, says Laura Lawler. Ellen Jane says a racing car. Just once we're here, let's just give it a bit of this. It's A, double yellow lines. Not C. Lots of you saying C, the slogan, no, that's what I'd have thought. Question 4. A one-of-a-kind Bob Dylan record in a bespoke walnut and white oak cabinet sold at auction for £1.2 million. But what song did it feature? Was it A, Blowing in the Wind? Was it B, Like a Rolling Stone? Or was it C, Subterranean Homesick Blues? A, B, or C? A one-of-a-kind Bob Dylan record in a bespoke walnut and white oak cabinet sold at auction for 1.2 million. But which song did it feature? A, Blowing in the Wind, B, Like a Rolling Stone, or C, Subterranean Homesick Blues? Oh.
Bye, darling.
Take care, send her my love.
I will.
Send her all my love.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Lots of love. See you later.
Bye.
See you at lunch later. Let's have a look. What are you saying? I think there's a bit of a time lag on my phone up there. Let's end that poll, shall we? B, due to your singing, but no idea. Yeah. C. I've forgotten the question. C. Oh, what did I? It was A, Blowing in the Wind. Blowing in the wind. That's what Nadine was doing this morning. She was blowing the wind. Question 5, and then I'm going to ask you where you're at. Question 5. Researchers at a Finnish power plant, I'm a fintech, CEO of a fintech company. Researchers at a Finnish power plant installed the first working example of a new type of commercial battery, stay with me, capable of storing green energy for months. But from which material was the device created? So from what material is this brand new, brilliantly storing battery capable of storing green energy made from? Is it A, sand, B, soil, or C, wood chips? Which of those is it, guys? Whilst you're doing your stuff, I'm just going to make sure that, yeah, that's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. C, lots of you saying C. Lots of you saying, well, it's split all over the place. Sand, soil, or wood chips? It's sand. It's sand. So who has got, as we get to this vital juncture in the quiz of the week, who has got 5 out of 5? Come on, who has got 5 out of 5? Who's got 5 out of 5, guys? Have you got 5 out of 5? Sand, Nicola Higgins, you're saying, say, yeah, it's all good, you're all coming through. Let's have a... Who's got 5 out of 5? The right answer was sand. I think you've all got sand. Let's have a look. How are you doing? 3 out of 5, says Faith Goodman. Trudy Lipinski's, 4 out of 5. Reese Roberts, 3 out of 5. Sally O'Sullivan, 5 out of 5. Doing well. Sarah Perlmutter, Katie Wilson, Sandra Beveridge, 4. Christos, 4. Well done. Julie Everts, 4. Anyone else got 5? Yeah, it's a hard one this week. So Sally O'Sullivan, you're doing well with 5. 5, that's very good. We've got someone's aiming for it. Okay, so question 6. A tournament crowd of 68,000 saw hosts England beat Austria 1-0 in the opening game of the Women's Euro 2022 Football Championship. But which stadium is not among the venues? A tournament record crowd of 68,000 saw hosts England beat Austria 1-0 at Old Trafford in the opening game of the Women's Euro 2022 Football Championships. Which stadium is not among the venues? A. Lee Sports Village, home of Manchester United's women. B. Manchester City's Etihad Stadium. Or C. Rotherham United's New York Stadium. So which of those is not amongst the 10 tournament venues? Fucking hell. If anyone was doing well, this is the one that's going to completely kibosh any plans to go into the weekend screaming, fuck off Friday, on a surfboard singing, I got 7 out of 7 in the quiz of the week. Because this is it. It's all gone terribly Pete Tong. Pete Tong? Big Tong. No, Pete Tong. Anyone got any idea? Anyone got an absolute Scooby on this? A. Lee Sports Village, Lee Sports Village, home of Manchester United's women. B. Manchester City's Etihad Stadium. Or C. Rotherham United's New York Stadium. The answer is Manchester City's Etihad Stadium. Etihad is a weird word, isn't it? Manchester. I think you got it right, Russ. So we're coming in for the final question. We're coming in for the final question. We're coming in for the final question. Right, so let's have a look. Final question. Sarah Witherington, 3 out of 7. Lorraine Eads, sucking at this is part of the fun. I'm not suggesting you aim for none, but it's the taking part that counts. 4 out of 6, says Reese. Very good, sorry. I just had a mini moment in my throat there. Leslie S, 5 out of 6, very good. Okay, final question. 3 Michael Jackson songs were removed from streaming services, but why have they proven controversial? A disagreement with his estate over royalties. B, a rival artist claims the melodies are copied. Or C, there are claims Jackson doesn't sing on them. So, wow, this is quite something. So 3 Michael Jackson songs were removed from streaming services, but why have they proven controversial? A disagreement with his estate over royalties. B, a rival artist claims the melodies are copied. Or C, there are claims Jackson doesn't sing on them. Which of those do you think it is, guys? Lots of you saying, let's have a look. C, does not sing on them, Faith Goodman. Nicola Higgins, B. Lots of you saying C. Yeah, and I missed this story this week. Wow. So the answer is, you're right. Lots of you are right. There are claims that he doesn't sing them, but there have been persistent claims that 3 songs on the posthumous 2010 compilation album feature vocals by a session singer. However, Sony Music and Jackson's estate said the removal from streaming sites of Monster, Keep Your Head Up and Breaking News had nothing to do with authenticity. They described the action as the simplest and best way to move beyond the conversation associated with these tracks. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Who got, yay, I got 4 correct, Sarah Witherington. What did you all get? Christos, you got 6, did you? Christos? No, you said C. Leslie S, 6. Julie Everett, 6. Sonia Donovan, 5. Sharon Smallwood, 5 out of 6. 4. Chantel, Creatorholic, 4. Sally O'Sullivan, 6. You fell at the hurdle. Bet it was the football question, wasn't it? Emma Carter, 4 out of 7. That's past the halfway point. You're not pants at this at all. 2 out of 7, Hang's Head, says Good Ship Lollipop. Don't worry, always next week. 3 out of 7, Karen Reynolds. 4, Margaret O'Brien. 3, Gillian Barras. Zavil Sikta, 3. Helen Groves, well done, you did 6. Guys, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Have fun and, you know, whenever in doubt and the sun's shining and everyone's going, it's Friday, it's fucking Friday. Have a great time. Just say hashtag fuck off Friday. Okay? Lots of love, guys. Have a lovely Friday and we'll see you lots over the weekend. Bye.